So they were, so far whatever were dealing related to accountability mechanisms, so they were supply side, let's say, we considered. If you remember power plus discretion, corruption. So control, we say as traditional. Contemporary. So they can be considered traditional institutions. Now, you know already we have dealt these three such aspects, the weaknesses of that. So while talking contemporary social accountability, we told that we presume even suppose this system is working, still we need social accountability. Still we need social accountability. But now by this time you know the problems. We have not although taught CAC, but you know the problems of this. Right. What are the problems in traditional? Even if they have good aspect, but still they have problems. When they have problems, so this is what we want to, let's say, supplement it by social accountability. And in that, social accountability means simple, people participation. Because it is presumed that if people will participate in the process, so then it will reduce. It will improve quality of accountability, and also it will, let's say, that somehow fill gap, whatever the gaps created by them because of their loopholes and weaknesses. And that this is how in this we have to teach about citizen charter. So RTI, social audit, e-governance we have taught. These are other mechanisms. Plus also we'll teach, let's say, that civil society organizations, media, interest groups. Although they were part of traditional also, but their role has become more active. So that's why it is taken here. We can take here also, that's how. So this becomes more demand side. And this becomes more supply side. Because you know that what happens in supply side. They themselves supply and you know how the supply is. Right. So they appoint themselves and they have to deal against accountability, means deal against corruption sectors. The problem when people are brought in that mechanism, so already it's general aspect we have given, its conceptual aspect we have told in the first class itself while we were talking about accountability and control. So let's take one by one this citizen charter, RTI, social audit. So we'll take first citizen charter. So so when we talk about citizen charter, the three, let's say that, okay, you have benefits at 4 places, not 3 places. Public administration, both papers, GS 2nd and 4th. So, will you write ordinary answer or best answer?
Best answer.
Best answers.
Yes. So you should have best content. Answer should be ready. This is called a smart preparation. So there are topics which are small, but they have benefits across papers. And you need to identify those topics and be best in them. Right. So less effort, more gain. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स कब ऑर्डनरी हो जाता है पता नहीं चलता. Right. Anyhow, right. Best answer is best answer means you have a good reference of introduction, in brief basics link written, then you adhere to the demand of the question, you end with a conclusive view. That is called best answer. आजकल जो बेस्ट आंसर हो गया है कि टॉपर्स का कॉपी देखो, एग्जैक्टली रेप्लिकेट करो उसको. राइट. तो फिर टीचर्स का क्या रोल है? मतलब हम लोगों का कोई रोल ही नहीं है फिर. वी आर यू लेट्स से यूजलेस क्रीचर. सो मेंस टाइम में बहुत बड़ा फ्रिक्शन चलता है. Friction. We keep saying you do that. They don't change. They do keep doing what they. Right. जब उनसे पूछो तो बोलते हैं कि टॉपर्स के कॉपी में ऐसा लिखा है, तो फिर why you have come here? Right. जब टॉपर्स के कॉपी में लिखा है तो यहाँ तो आने की जरूरत ही नहीं था. You should have done yourself now. Right. Anyhow. So that has become basically that has resulted into आज इस बार तो हमने मेंस में बहुत सारा बुरा भी बोला है कि it's decline of the standard. Right. Doing UPSC does not mean कि you are intelligent person and knowledgeable person. Decline in standard. Right. Anyhow. यस, यूपीएससी इतना वो नहीं है, प्रिकेरियस इंस्टीट्यूशन नहीं है कि आप कुछ कॉपी कर लो और लिख दो. वो वर्क नहीं करता है. बट एनी हाउ लेट्स से कि वो दिल है कि मानता नहीं जब तक उसको कुछ रिजेक्शन नहीं मिलता है तब तक वो संभलता नहीं है. जब वो रिजेक्शन मिलता है तब तक संभलने का टाइम होता नहीं है. अटेम्प्ट्स आर एंड जो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में क्वालिफाई करते हैं, यू कैन नॉट मेक देम रोल मॉडल, बिकॉज उसके लिए आपको 10+2 से प्रिपरेशन करना पड़ेगा और आपको डेस्टिन्ड होना पड़ेगा कि यू आर बॉर्न इन ए वेरी गुड फैमिली. पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो हाईली एजुकेटेड, हाईली आर्टिकुलेटिव, चिल्ड्रेन ऑल्सो हाईली आर्टिकुलेटिव. राइट, तो फिर उनको आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे लिखना है। They are highly articulative, right? सौम्या क्या है, सौम्या शर्मा, highly articulative, right? She got 9th rank, so it's you cannot, let's say that it's highly articulative there. Na? First attempt she got 9th rank. I'm talking about 2018 batch, right? सो एक वो होता है, एक दूसरा होता है, मान लो कि विनोद दुआन 86 रैंक और समथिंग, तो दे हैव टू लर्न इट, इट्स नॉट कि दे आर नॉट, दे हैव टू लर्न, एंड देयर इज वन, लेट्स से दैट की स्टूडेंट हु इज बिलोंगिंग टू दैट, दे आर डेस्टिन्ड, they are endowed with talent. So both we have to see that. So certainly let's say that they are going to make it, right? Yes, I have one student who has not studied in India. She studied in France. And she studied in France, did job in Singapore. She was no way Indian. Wherever she went for interview, they told that you are not Indian. You show how you are Indian. She was highly frustrated. Why they want me to show me that I should show Indian, how I am Indian? So she had to change her accent also. So when she will get IAS, I will take her name. She is already in service now, in civil service. But this year again she has appeared, right? But there are candidates, so they are, let's say that extraordinary, like say, so can, let's say that we say this, so that's why let's say कि when they say कि मुझे तो पढ़ना नहीं पड़ा, मैं तो उधर मॉडलिंग करती थी और रास्ते में किसी ने बताया कि अरे UPSC है यहाँ पे इंडिया गेट के सामने जाके फॉर्म अप्लाई करना। तो रास्ते में हमने फॉर्म भी अप्लाई कर दिया, ठीक है, and I qualified. So that is what you have to understand. Anyhow, let's come to our point. So it is yes.
सर जिनके बैकग्राउंड नहीं होता है तो उनको एवरेज कितना टाइम लगता है?
Right. अच्छा, 3 idiot टाइप का क्वेश्चन है, डोंट टेक इट sarcastically, टेक इट। नहीं,
अभी तो idiot
वो
ही है
पीछे में पूछता है ना कि जॉब मिलता है कि नहीं।
यस
So it's not like that. If you go for, let's say, it can take 2 to 3 years. This is what we can say. If you give in a dedicated manner, so it will take 2 to 3 years. Dedicated in the sense that suppose we have taught you public administration, so if you simply maintain it, so this, if similarly you have GS standard, you have studied, so then 1 year it will take that way. Thereafter you have to revise it, know it, retain it. It will take half year almost. That's why we say, let's say 1.5 years. This, and then you start appearing, so another 1.5 years. Because you have to retain it also and write it also. So that, and then you have to write everything together. एज ऑफ नाउ सपोज आप चैप्टर वाइज पढ़ते हो ना, तो आपको अगर CBI के बारे में याद है तो वो बहुत बड़ी चीज़ तो है नहीं, इट्स नॉट अ बिग थिंग, बिकॉज जस्ट यू हैव स्टडीड, राइट? इफ़ यू रिकॉल, अभी मैं पूछूँ साइमन के बारे में एंड इफ़ यू टेल इट फटाफट, सो देन इट इज़ कॉल्ड रिटेंशन, राइट? बट थियरी सेक्शन में भी रिटेंशन के इतना चैलेंज नहीं है। चैलेंज वहाँ पे है जैसे मानो रेगुलेटरी बॉडी है, पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप है, राइट? प्रिज्मेटिक साला मॉडल है, क्या था उसका 3 इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, राइट? सो चैलेंज रिवीजन में टाइम तो लगेगा ना, मीन्स इट टेक्स टाइम टू, सपोज यू हैव 26 चैप्टर्स, सो इट टेक्स टाइम टू स्टडी, टेक्स टाइम टू रिवाइज, इट टेक्स टाइम टू रिटेन, देन आपको आंसर प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा. नेक्स्ट चैलेंज तो आंसर राइटिंग का आएगा. सब कुछ पता है फिर भी आंसर नहीं लिखने आ रहा है, फिर सो अभी तो आप नॉलेज लेवल पे है ना, कि नॉलेज है तो चलो आप समझ रहे हो कि नॉलेज हो जाएगा तो हो जाएगा. ये तो अभी एक बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट, एक स्टेज आपने क्रॉस किया है. दूसरा स्टेज है आंसर राइटिंग, राइट. दिस तीसरा स्टेज है प्रीलिम्स क्वालिफाइंग. राइट, तो मौका ही नहीं मिलेगा. So we have to understand this layers. So those who say na, means basically they are keeping you away from the reality, let's say that, the reality of this examination. And one should not feel what we say that you should take time from your parents, but yes, you should give, maintain. It is very difficult to have so right, it is very difficult to have a routinized, mechanized study, because you have human emotions. Elton Mayo, right? You are not Taylor. So टेलर होते तो चलता, चलो वो हो जाएगा, बट आपको पढ़ने का भी तो मन आना चाहिए ना. यू फील लाइक यस आई हैव टू स्टडी, राइट. देयर आर सो मेनी अदर थिंग्स, एक्सटेनियस वेरिएबल्स आल्सो. So right, so taking all these things, it is 2 to 3 years of plan one should have from our side. We ideally tell that it is 2 to 3 years of plans. That's why we do not guide people, because they don't want to listen 2 and 3 years of plan. They want to listen 6 months and 1 year of plan.
And eventually come to 2 to 3 years.
Yes, eventually वो तो 6 year भी हो जाता है. ठीक है. This so 2 to 3 year, right? But eventually it happens ना. But then they have brought in their mind, वो किसी ने कहीं से पढ़ लिया है, किसी का इंटरव्यू और आ गया दिल्ली. Right, this is how it is. और एक बार जब वो ओल्ड राजेंद्र नगर का वो जो सारे दोनों साइड में बुक शॉप है, एक बार घूमता है, उसका दिमाग भी राइट घूम गया. नहीं इतना पढ़ना है, उसने तो बोला था 3 ही महीना पढ़ना है. सो दिस, उसमें भी कई सारे थियरीज हैं. कोई बोलेगा कुछ ऐसे हुआ वैसे हुआ, यानी पब्लिक एड. किसी ने पूछा है अभिलाष सर हाउ मेनी टेस्ट ही राइट, राइट. उनकी बात मत करो, वो एक अलग कैटेगरी है. 3 years they wrote under my guidance, means 3 years. Right. That time we had 3 years also enrichment program we used to do. So अभी तो online of corona की वजह से I am not taking it. So it used to be very rigorous. So 3 years that means every day for 2 months they wrote answer in the class. 4 days class plus test writing, and being always ready for test writing. This. So that is very ruthless, I say कि they are ruthless. And मतलब ruthless का मतलब होता है कि एक नहीं होता है टेलर टाइप कि आप वो it's like कि वो जिस तरह से it comes in my memory that you may have watched Rocky Balboa movie volume 4 or 5. He goes in Russia and he trains himself. So अभिलाष के बारे में मैं सोचता हूँ तो उसका ट्रेनिंग मुझे याद आता. The way he trained himself. So they trained like that, right? This. So that is a different class. Not because just intelligence, it's of like then side after coaching. Yes, job, they also did job. He is a good example. Anyhow, what we are saying is, let's say there are topics which I keep saying, why I keep saying that you should keep in memory that these are the also mechanisms to reduce your time and increase your gain. And we don't guide in one day, we keep guiding throughout the course. This, I don't believe in 10 minutes of speech. That can be very worse speech if I give. So, so because it is not possible, right, to tell. But the question is that you should, when we say something that you should prepare, so you should do it. Your answers should be prepared. The topics are confined. And that will be having tremendous benefit. Like say self-help group, if you say, so self-help group has also, you can see how frequently they ask in GS. Right. And public ed also they ask. Are we having an answer on that? The best content, this is what I will write.